Michigan's in the national championship game.
They are there.
They are there. Jim Harbaugh was in a terrible way 3 years ago at Michigan. And let's not act like it was all he had to take a pay cut. You remember that and all that? I mean, it was bad. It was so bad. None of the NFL teams were interested in him. Remember, he was trying to get out because he didn't want to take a pay cut and I'll go back to the NFL. The Lions wouldn't even interview him, okay, when they hired Dan Campbell 3 years ago. They wouldn't even interview Jim Harbaugh. But his legacy is spotty to me. And I say spotty because he's had success. We know that he was successful with the 49ers. They never won a Super Bowl. They got there one time. He lost to his brother in the Super Bowl, right? I think he got the 3 NFC championship games. That petered out. He got into it with the owners. He's done. He goes to Michigan, where he played for Bo Schembechler, was the comeback kid quarterback, right? Captain Comeback. I mean, like, he has a storied history with the program. But they can never get to that next level. Last year, lose to TCU, right?
Yes.
That played in the championship game. The year before, they got blown out to Georgia. Was it Georgia last year? 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Remember they got blown out? So I'm looking at Jim Harbaugh's, future and legacy. Obviously, the best story for him would be for him to win the national championship and then wash his hands of Michigan. Seriously. I came back to my alma mater to get them a national championship. This program has one national championship. That was with Lloyd Carr. A shared mythical national championship in 1991. Like, think about that. Bo Schembechler, who they have a statue of on the campus, never won a national championship. And back then, in the Big Ten, it was Michigan, Ohio State, and nobody else. And that's why they used to win the Big Ten title, right? But he didn't win any national championship. How important is this for him to win the national championship? And should he stay at Michigan, win or lose, or is there time to get out?
Well, in terms of importance, I think it's important for him in his Michigan lore. Player there, for an all-time great coach, comes back, beat Ohio State 3 years in a row, finally win a game in the college football playoffs. The year before, it changes to, an all-out love fest for every college team in the top 12. And if they were to win this, if he were to win it, I think it'd be a Bo, right? His legacy is already etched in stone there at Michigan, right? He wins games. He gets you where you need to go. Can he win the national championship with this team?
Why doesn't he have to win a national championship? Because and I say that because all the coaches that he's in the pay grade with, everybody else has a national championship except for Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
And I don't know why he gets a pass and he doesn't have to win.
Well, but he should have to win. He's been a winner everywhere. No, but he hasn't even at the San Diego, at University of San Diego.
I get that.
Right? So got to the NFL.
But he didn't win the Super Bowl.
Took Alex Smith, who everybody was giving up on. Took him to the Super Bowl, to the NFC Championship game. Switched Alex out after they were 13-1 or whatever that is.
He saw something in Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick came in, took the league by storm.
Big time.
Paved the way for the Lamar Jacksons and all of that,
but why doesn't he have to finish the job is what I'm saying. Is it too much to ask for Jim Harbaugh to win a championship?
No,
I think he has to win a championship. I think this is his best opportunity.
I think this is his only opportunity.
This is it. They're undefeated. If they they were in the championship game and they lose to Washington or Texas, I think it's a bummer for Michigan and Jim Harbaugh.
That's a beautiful pass.
You know that he doesn't get it. He didn't get there.
Yeah, it's Michael Penix is the real deal. He just threw a probably with a 70-yard touchdown pass.
Did he get in?
No,
he didn't get in.
Tackled
at the 2,
down at the 2. But to tie his legacy up in Michigan, given in 2020 they were taking money back away from him, unsure about what's going on.
You remember that? That was real.
Also, what's real is Michigan has played, 14 games this year, and he hasn't been there for 6 of them.
Right.
Because of the suspensions. I think he's
run his
course.
And there's another investigation pending, right?
His
Still
course,
going on.
Touchdown Washington. I think he's run his course at Michigan. So, yes, this would be the icing on the cake to leave as one of the only coaches to ever win a outright national championship.
At Michigan,
your alma mater, and then go back to the NFL and, do what you do. But I think the importance of him cementing his legacy.
Getting to the championship, is that good enough? Like for him to leave is what I'm saying to you. I think he should have to win a championship.
No, I think he should. I think he's leaving no matter what.
You think I
think he's leaving no matter what.
He's just done because of all the other stuff.
It's too much going on. Right? It's too much going on. He didn't forget that they asked for money back 3 years ago.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Right? So he didn't forget that.
That stings, and that's embarrassing. Right?
And so he's going to take his Dockers, his iron-free Dockers, and he's going to go back to the NFL. I think to get the statue next to Bo on campus, he wins a national championship. 10 years from now, they unveil the statue. They got the Dockers on with the iron. He holding the iron in his hand.
And so Josina Anderson is reporting tonight that Jim Harbaugh will be one of their 4 people that they interview with the Chargers. Right. It makes sense.
I saw that.
Right.
And if you're Jim Harbaugh and you get to have Justin Herbert,
I agree. And they have talent on defense. If you get that straightened out, it's all. Am I right?
It's there.
That's a good team on paper.
You want to walk into that situation,
right? It's like Bill Belichick. I know people go, "Oh, you don't want to go to AFC." What with that team? Bill can get the defense together, right? And you got the quarterback. Why would you not want it?
And people were like, "Well, do you really want to go into a conference or a division
with
Patrick Mahomes?" Have you seen what have you seen what the Kansas City Chiefs look like?
And they're going the other way. I mean, they're going the other way.
This is the right time.
Because with Patrick's salary, once he redid it, now there isn't that much money to go around anymore.
No,
okay, when he had the other one,
they don't have a lot of playmakers.
They don't.
They don't have a lot of playmakers willing to step up when you need them to step up. Tyreek Hill is on this team. We're not even having this conversation.
Yep.
And we kind of got fooled about it last year
because they won
the Super Bowl.
And you got to remember, and even then, if you go back, they won.
Mm-hmm.
It was the play they got in that AFC Championship game. Remember, Joe Burrow didn't even play that well, and they won by 3, and they gave him a penalty out of bounds or something. Remember, they got that unnecessary roughness or personal foul or whatever it was. And they weren't that overwhelming.
Chris Jones was really the key to that run last year.
And don't forget, they got to pay some of those guys. Chris Jones didn't get paid. There's a couple guys who are up for money as well. So what are they going to do? They're going to lose Chris Jones? They're going to lose some other people? They got a lot of issues going on. All right, here we go. We want to hear from you. Does Jim Harbaugh, should we hold him to the standard that he needs to win a national championship in order to really cement his legacy? Or is just getting to the college football championship enough? Has he done enough in his resume, and this is the icing on the cake, and he doesn't have to win a national championship? I think he has to win a national championship. Ephraim is cool of what he's done to this point and getting to the national championship game.
We got Dre in Michigan. You on the Odd Couple with Rob and Ephraim. What you got?
What's up, buddy?
What's going on, fellas? Rob, you must know I'm a diabetic because you never serve me no cupcakes, man. You always bring the real guys. So
I'm not like Chris. Chris is, you know what I'm saying?
For real. Hey, yo, Ephraim, man, shout out to you, brother. Hey, man, you made my life so much easier, bro. I'm one of those people that people bring their problems to, and I used to listen all the time.
Yeah.
Now I just tell them, you should just made better choices in high school, man.
Made better choices in high school, man.
Should have made better choices. It comes down to that. But no,
that's a true statement there. It's hard to argue with that.
It is. They can't. They just leave me alone. So I appreciate that. But I don't think he has to win one. I would like one, too. But the reason why I don't think he has to is because He got us three Big Ten championships. Then we went to the playoffs 3 years in a row. And you got to remember where Michigan was at before he got here, man. It was horrible. We was Ohio State. They was our daddy. You know what I'm saying?
But wait a minute. But even Ohio State has won national champ. I mean, why? Why do you not feel like he needs to win? I'm dead serious, Dre. You're in Michigan.
No, I get you.
You don't want to say he has to in case he loses. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I hear from Michigan people, is that they don't want to put the onus or the pressure on him. Why shouldn't he have to win a national championship?
The reason why I say that, because you got to look at where a person was. It's just like with the Lions. If the Lions win one playoff game, we don't expect them, or they don't have to reach the Super Bowl.
No, but nobody said
because of where they've been.
Yeah, but Michigan is a storied program. Like they've been in the college football playoffs 3 years in a row. Shouldn't this be a progression? What
is a progression? This is the next step in the progression.
If they get blown out, they play Washington and get blown out. You're gonna be good with the season?
They're not gonna get blown out.
No, I know that. I'm just saying. You ain't gonna be happy with that, are you?
Not at all. But no, not at all. But you gotta understand, he has to leave because they done took 2 shots at this man's head.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna miss the third time. So he got to go. So he must take what he can get and dip. Don't come back for no more. It's going to end real bad.
I feel the same way you do, Dre. I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, you too, brother. Happy New Year. Yeah, it's time for him to go. We got Tim in Atlanta. You on the Odd Couple with Rob and Ephraim. What you got?
Chili Tim, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Rob. Happy New Year, Ephraim. How you guys doing?
Good,
doing
brother.
Great. You see who's working today, right? I mean, I'm not big time. I don't have a Fox Sports 1 show in New York and all. I got to work. I mean, if I don't work, I don't get paid.
Yeah, Chris is my frat brother, man. But yeah, I'm going to have to get on his work ethic a little bit there, man.
That's right. That's right. Just a little bit.
But I do agree with you, Rob. I think he has the win, not so much from the Michigan. I think for his own personal thing, because I think there's a couple checklists that he has. For one, he beat Nick Saban. He and Saban been kind of having his things, few kind of, going back and forth.
Right.
So he took Saban down today, which probably was big in his eyes. He'll never say it, but it's huge. I think number 2 is that if he wins, he puts the pressure and he sticks his finger in the eye of the administration of, because there's people there that obviously wants to see him gone. And like Dre just said, they're going to come after him. So I think if he wins this, I think he puts that finger in their eye, and I think he puts the pressure on them like, yeah, you better find somebody else that's going to be half as good as me, or he's going to be able to hold this over their heads for a while. So I think just for his own personal vendetta thing he has probably going in his head with the money and everything else, I think he needs to win this for him as much as he does anyone else.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Tim.
No doubt, Tim.
And
Thank you.
We also have to realize he was suspended, 6 games. They won all 6 of the games, including the Ohio State game.
Yeah, that was the big one.
Right? So
that was the one that Ohio State. I'm surprised that Ryan Day is cool there.
Right? You don't think that the program and the organization knows this? Like, hey, we're winning. He missed 6 games.
Right.
Right? And in the regular season, he missed half the games.
And we still won them all.
And you still won them all.
We got players here.
So
anybody could coach this team.
Whenever you start showing people that you can still win without you, then they start to really pay attention.
Good point. Devin Reddy, we got him. Devin Gardner, who is the former quarterback at Michigan and a Fox Sports college football analyst. And oh my goodness, but your alma mater finally is going to the national championship game. Devin, what's up? Welcome to the Odd Couple.
I'm so happy to be here. And, I love Steve, but he took up way too much time. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. All the scores, that's nice. But let's talk about Michigan football. How about them?
I know you're excited because, the last time Michigan hasn't won a national championship since the
don't do this, Rob.
Louisiana Purchase.
You know he's going to do it.
Right. So, I'm just saying.
Rob, I remember I was on with you guys a little while back, with the whole sign thing, and obviously it was all overblown. Everybody can see that now because they're going to the national championship.
That doesn't mean that it didn't happen. Does that mean it didn't happen?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Allow me to finish my soliloquy, please. Okay. I've been waiting.
Okay.
You go through all that stuff, and I told you this team's really good, man. I'm telling you, the signs have nothing to do with it. They are really good. I told a lot of people how much more healthy they'd be in this game. And I want to say this. I actually don't even know how good they are. You want to know why, Rob? Because they played terrible. They played a terrible football game by their standards. A lot of plays, like routine plays that they usually make, a lot of mistakes that they usually don't make. They made them in this game as if the moment was a little too big, and they still found a way. And everybody talks about, J.J. McCarthy, and is he the quarterback? Or is he that good, and all these different things? He looked a lot like another guy in the NFL who had this same opportunity against Bama to drive down, put it in overtime, win the game in the Rose Bowl. This time, of course, J.J. McCarthy, though he wasn't great throughout the entire game, when they needed him most, he was outstanding with his arm and his legs. I just hope that Rob Parker's giving out kudos.
He's been giving out kudos. He has.
Right?
He has. But we've been talking a lot about Harbaugh, his legacy, and what's to come for him. Are you one of the alum that think that he needs to win a national title to cement his legacy at Michigan? Maybe get a statue next to Bo somewhere on campus? Or do you think he's done enough to cement that legacy already?
I think he's shown how good of a football coach he was. It is at the next level, obviously in the NFL, being able to go to the Super Bowl, not finishing the deal though. And then in college, though he hasn't won the big one, and even when he was at Stanford, he never won a Pac-12 championship, and it took a while to do it at Michigan. He's an outstanding football. His legacy is an outstanding football coach at any level, because there are a lot of coaches that are good in college but aren't good at the NFL level, guys that are NFL and not good at college, right? And so I think that he has cemented himself as an outstanding football coach.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Not like seriously.
If you would allow me to finish.
Okay,
he's still talking, Rob.
Okay, because okay.
Take a deep breath.
All right, go ahead. I'll back off. Go ahead. I want to hear it. Go ahead.
Now, as far as his Michigan legacy, he's going to get a lot of kudos for bringing guys back and all these different things. And I don't think he has to win a national championship, but it sure would be nice just because of all the kind of turmoil he might have put Michigan through as far as maybe leaving every single year and all these allegations and whether he had knowledge or not. Remember, I talked about it when we talked earlier this year. He's the head coach. So all of those things fall under you and under your watch as the leader. And so those things have happened. And the one thing that cures all of that is winning a national championship, and I think his legacy will be completely cemented. Now, the whole statue thing, Bo Schembechler never won a national championship, right? So I don't think he has to do that to get a statue a long time from now, obviously. But if he wants an immediate statue where he puts something up to make sure everybody knows that he's the coach at Michigan, he has to win a national championship this year, and I think they have the team to do it.
Well, see, I would look at it as if he doesn't, it would be – to me, if given how good this team is, you talked about it, right? And all that is done, and here they are, and they don't win, this will be typical Jim Harbaugh career, which is really good, gets to the big games. He did it in the NFL, but didn't win the Super Bowl, and this would be the same exact situation. And maybe there's some coaches who can finish the job, and maybe Jim Harbaugh can't finish the job, and that's what it would look like. Do you believe that's what it looked like to me if he doesn't? Because it's laid out to win the national championship, and if they don't, you got to be disappointed if you're Michigan. I don't care what anybody says if they don't win.
100%.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he said it. He did an interview before the game. He talked about that first year when they got a chance. They finally got over humble, beating Ohio State. They go to the playoff. They said after winning the Big Ten championship, he said it with his own mouth, that everything else was icing on the cake, right? And so I don't even think they believe that they were a good enough football team to win the national championship. Maybe they did inside the building, but that's what he said. Those are his words. And then last year, obviously, they expected to win a national championship, and they came out. J.J. McCarthy did not play well. He spotted that team 14 points, and they still really had a chance at the end to win. So you know that they were good enough to maybe compete for a championship. But when you spot a team 14 points, I don't care who they are, you're going to have a tough time in that arena, in that environment, winning a game. And so this year is the same as last year. They expect to win a national championship. So I agree with you, Rob, where if they do not win the national championship, especially after, you're not going to see them play that bad again. There's no way. Right? Obviously, Rose Bowl, the mystique, all those different things. You have some young players that have contributed all year that made some big mistakes in special teams and even dropping easy passes that you just didn't see all year. So that those jitters and all that, the moment is huge. That's out of the way now. So you'll see a much more poised, a much more disciplined and team in the championship. And I think that is going to be the difference, and they're going to play their best football. And I'm telling you, man, it starts with their quarterback. All the things they kind of dealt with, that had nothing to do with the players, right? So that's a lot of distractions that they had to deal with, right, throughout this entire season, right? As much as we can say the legacy of Harbaugh and whatever, he doesn't play, right? This is about the kids that got in the arena, blocked out all the noise. As much as we talk about wearing blinders and all those different things, it's a tough thing to do, Rob. You've watched so many athletes crumble under huge moments without distractions, right? And so this team had a ton of distractions, and through their leadership of their quarterback, they found a way to finish the deal against the greatest college football coach that this land has ever seen. That is a special deal, especially when they were down in the fourth quarter. He had only had one opportunity in the fourth quarter down to go win a game, and that's against Illinois a couple years back. And for him to show up big like that, I think that bodes extremely well for their entire football team.
Well, look, I am so glad we have you here because it looks like you have been waiting, Devin, to get this off your chest, man. And,
100%.
And I love it.
Especially
I got one more question for you. Does Harbaugh leave or does he stay?
That's the big question right there.
I think so. I don't. This is not me saying this from knowing, inside information.
Give us the scoop.
From him specifically, but I think that it may be set up for him to leave. If he wins the national championship, there's going to be some kind of NCAA deal going on where he may have to take another suspension, all these different things. And he just hired Don Yee, who everybody knows, Sean Payton's agent. He was actually
Tom Brady's agent, right?
Tom Brady's agent. And there are coaches in the NFL that have shown an inability to coach at that level with some pretty decent rosters. I think that he may take his shot. If he wins the national championship, I would go as far as to say 80%. He takes his shot at the next level and tries to connive a way to draft J.J. McCarthy, who he loves to death. And you can see why in that last drive.
Well, not if he's going to the Chargers. He ain't drafting J.J. McCarthy.
Go to the Chargers.
If he goes to the Chargers, obviously that's out. But I don't know about that, though. The ownership might have to argue with him, and that probably might be the reason why he won't go to the Chargers, because I'm telling you, he loves J.J. McCarthy that much.
He can't possibly love J.J. McCarthy. He can't possibly love him more than Justin Herbert.
I'm sorry.
It's not that much love in the world.
Listen, I know it seems ridiculous, and so for me, I'm not a big Herbert fan. I think he's very Matthew Stafford-esque, where he's like Pat Stafford. He's going to have a bunch of stats all these years, and then everybody's going to blame everybody else. He's going to get coaches fired. It's the ineptitude of the organization. And for many, many years, he's never going to do anything, just like Matthew Stafford. But he's super talented, and he's got a lot of stats. So I'm not a big believer in him. And I think Harbaugh does love JJ that much that if he were to take that job, it would have to be with the caveat that he would find a way to move him, because you'll get a lot, right? You'll get a lot for Justin Herbert, and he thinks that he can win, and he thinks that J.J. McCarthy is a generational talent. Now, is that true? Is that 100% true? We don't know just yet.
It is not. No.
And
we do know it's not.
And the 9 Charger fans would be upset, okay, if
that's what I'm saying. It's only 9, so he can do stuff like that. Right. You know what I mean? It's an organization that's a model of ineptitude, right?
No,
so
but they got talented players, man. They should be way better than they are, and that's the argument.
They had the worst coach in the NFL.
Robert? It should be the quarterback.
No,
they had the worst coach in the NFL.
Have you watched
by far. For the last
Staley?
4 years,
coach?
It was awful.
Awful. He cost him so many games. I mean, it's just
we'll revisit this in 7 years' time.
Okay.
When Matthew Stafford is very similar to Justin Herbert.
All right, we'll see that. We appreciate you. We got
the clip. Make the clip, and we'll replay it in 5 or 6 years.
We got it marked down for you, no doubt. Devin Gardner, man, we appreciate your insight.
Appreciate you. Congratulations.
The former Michigan quarterback and Fox Sports college football analyst. And you know what? The people up in Ann Arbor, they are happy. They're satisfied because Bo Schembechler never won a national championship, so they don't expect him to win one. I think he needs to win one.
I'm with you, Rob. I think he does, too.
I do. It's all set up for him. All right, my man. Appreciate it. Happy New Year.
Appreciate you guys for having me. Happy New Year. And I'll see you guys next week, I promise, right? I think I'll talk to you guys next week, win or lose.
Yes. Sounds great. Thank you, buddy.